Now, one thing that's important to do is to distinguish between working in the source box or the syntax box, which is here in the upper left-hand corner, and the console, which is in the bottom left-hand corner. Previously, all the work that we've been doing is in the console. So here, if I just add two numbers, 5 plus 5, and I hit return, it'll return the sum of 10. Now let me clear this out for a second. Now if we consider doing the same thing up here in the source box, if I add 5 plus 5 and I hit return, it'll just go down to the next line and it won't give us any calculations. And that's because in the source box or in the syntax box, this is code. And technically what we have to do is run the code. So up here, if I hit 5 plus 5 and I hit return, I do not get any output. What I have to actually do is highlight the code and hit the run button. And run will run the code. So if I click run, it'll now give us the 5 plus 5 and then it'll return 10. So let me clear this out. And I'll come down here and I'll hit the broom to clear everything out. So what we have to remember here is that we're writing the code in the syntax box and the output of the code is going to return to us in the console. Now what we can also do is we can write comments to ourselves. So in the syntax box is all of our code. And now it's important to write comments so that we remember what we're doing. And the way to write a comment is to write a hashtag and then we can write any type of comment. Comment goes here. So R will not read anything that's after the hashtag. So let me delete this for a second. So if you remember previously, we were assigning content to objects. So what I could do here is I can write a comment to myself and I can remind myself that I'm going to assign the value 2 to the object X. Assign the value 2 to the object X. Now in the next line, I can do that. So I can write X gets the value 2. If I hit return, now nothing happened. If you remember previously in the console, if I said X gets 2 and I hit return, it would return the value 2. Now I hit return and nothing's happened and nothing has gone into the global environment because we have to run the code. So I can just highlight this, I can click run, and then we notice down in the console, assign the value 2 to the object X is the comment. Here, X has been assigned the value 2, and then up here in the global environment, the value 2 has been assigned to the object X. So you notice that there's a workflow here. Up here is the code, we run the code is run into the console, and then whatever objects that we designate are going to be stored into our working memory up here in the global environment. So let's write another piece of code. I'm going to write a comment, and I want to assign the value 5 to the object Y. So here I will write Y gets 5. Once again, I hit return, nothing happens. And then now let's do one more thing. Let's say I want to sum the objects X and Y and assign to the object Z. So here what I can do is I can designate Z gets X plus Y. Let me clear this out for a second. And let me delete the values here. Now earlier we used the function rm to remove the values from the global environment here. Just for the sake of being fast, I just clicked the broom and I removed all the values from there. So we can run this all at once now. So remember, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to assign the value 2 to the object X. We're going to assign the value 5 to the object Y. And then we're going to sum the objects X and Y and assign it to the object Z. So I'll run it all. Here in the console, it tells us exactly what happened and it gives us the comments. We assign the value 2 to the object X. So up here, X is the value 2. Assign the value 5 to the object Y. 5 is Y. And then we want to sum the objects X and Y and we want to assign it to the object Z. So Z gets X plus Y, and we'll see that the value here is 7. So the workflow, once again, is we're writing our code up here in the top. It's coming down into the console, and then any objects that are being assigned are being stored in our working memory here in our global environment.